So for today, I'm going to show you guys how to make garlic buttermilk mashed potatoes. What you're going to need for this, just some straightforward potatoes. You're going to use a potato peeler. You're going to want a knife, pot of water, and a little creativity. Now what you're going to do, you're going to start off, take the potato peeler, and start really getting some of that skin off on that potato. The reason you want to do this a little bit fast is potato skin, once the skin comes off, potatoes can oxidize really fast and turn an icky brown. So you really want to get this skin off as quickly as you possibly can and get it into that water. If you see a little brown spots too, try to get all that brown off. Really work it. And now once you finish that up, make sure you got all those little brown spots off there. You're going to want to take it over to your cutting board, take your knife, and you're going to want to cut this potato in half, like so, and then cut that half again, so you have fourths. The reason for doing this, you want all the potatoes that you're cooking to be a relatively uniform size, so when you get it in there, they all cook at the same temperature and the same speed. So at this point, once you have all your potatoes cut up, you're going to want to take your pot full of potatoes in water. You're going to put a lid on it. You're going to turn your stove onto high, and you're going to let it sit there until the water comes to a boil. At that point, you're going to take your lid off and wait around roughly 15 to 20 minutes. At that point, you're going to want to take a fork, just kind of mess around with the potato and see if your potatoes are fork tender. And that means it's that point where you can stick your fork through nice, cleanly, have it come out. Now, as you're waiting for your water to come to a boil, you're going to want to add some garlic. Now, something new on the market is freeze-dried garlic, and this makes it a lot more convenient for teenagers, young adults to be a little more self-sufficient, because now you don't have to have that awkward bowl of garlic going bad in your kitchen. You can buy some of this freeze-dried garlic in the pantry section, and it'll stay good for a long time. All you have to do is add a little bit to the water, and there you have it. So now it's been about 15 minutes. Let's check on these potatoes to see if they're about fork tender. So you see here, you stick the fork, it goes right through. So put that back in there. We're ready to go on this. Now, another thing that we've been doing along the way is buttermilk. These are garlic buttermilk mashed potatoes. So with buttermilk, you can either pour it in cold or you can gently warm it up. I've chosen to gently warm up my buttermilk. Now, the next step is to take your pot, take it over here to the sink where we've got a drainer, and we're going to drain these babies right in. Whew! That's warm. Okay, now that we've got all that water out, we're going to set this right here. Take these potatoes, we're going to put them back into the warmed up pot. Right there. We're going to bring it back over here. The next step, we're going to take about, actually wait, hold on, let me move it right here into my little workstation. We're going to take some of this gently warmed up buttermilk. We're going to pour about a third of it in. We want to get it, nice and wet, but we can always determine if we want it to get a little moister. So we've got that going on right there. Now we're going to take a little butter. We're going to scoop some, get ample with it, really feel for it. We've got 3 scoops of butter going in right there. We're going to take a pinch of salt. Be very generous with your salt too. Get that sprinkled in around there. And take a little smaller pinch, some pepper, get that going on there. Make it look very nice, maybe a little more. For the next step, and the fun step, we're going to make these mashed potatoes. So you're going to take your masher, you're going to get it right in there, and you're going to go to town until you get it nice and fluffy and beautiful, that real consistency that you want for your mashed potatoes. Okay, so now after you've mashed it for a little bit, you can take a little fork, have a little taste test. Now, at this point, you can see what more you need to add to it. I think we need a little more salt. Get that going in there. And then also, we can use a little more pepper. Never have too much. So once you get that going, mash it up a little more, and you have just made some mashed potatoes. Garlic buttermilk mashed potatoes. These go great as a side dish to many kinds of meats. Actually, tonight this will be served with turkey meatloaf, but it also goes well with steak and chicken. Now, for your finished product, you should have something that looks something along the lines of that, and that is how you make mashed potatoes. And here is our finished product. Now it's time to go serve this to the family. Family, say hey.
Hi, Carter.
Hello. Hey.
Hi, Carter.
Ooh, Carter, those look creamy.
And now we have our garlic buttermilk mashed potato side dish.